Nikki is my real name. It's not Nicole or Nikki like most people think it is. It's Nikki. My mother loved Nikki Giovanni, even though that's not her name. So that's a different story. So what I'll say is this. I really didn't have too much to say, but I'm here with our friend. Her birthday, Tyrese. I think she set all of us up. So what I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to be very brief because I can talk a lot, about biases and prejudgments. So this girl I know, I know her a little bit. She grew up in a very poor neighborhood, very poor community. She had a lot of issues and a lot of things that went on, but there was a motivation in something in her that she decided to be different. So she drank a lot sometimes, but she always knew when to go home. She got in a lot of trouble, but there was something always, I believe, that divinely kept this young lady from moving and shaking. This young lady was a very young teenage mom. I met this guy who looked at me in 5th grade. I said, one day I'm going to marry you. And he said, miss, I don't know who you are. But that woman is married to her husband. Anyway, so what I'll say is biases and prejudgments sometimes keep people from knowing each other, paying attention for each other, and walking in each other's shoes. So this young lady learned a lot about life in many hard corners and many hard places. But she decided, being a teenager at 17, becoming pregnant at 17, putting a chip in the other 17-year-old so he wouldn't go anywhere, I'm just saying. And remembering and living in an abandoned home and struggling a little bit, and when she looked up, she had 6 kids. And in having 6 kids, she had 3 daughters. She was struggling, and they were struggling together. But there was always this hope that these biases as she walked down and she's seen people murdered in the street, these biases that when she tried to go to school, they said that she would never be anything. These biases that statistically, when you look at her community and where she came from and her parents not having degrees and her children living in an abandoned home, that there may not be changes. This young lady will speak at the Women's March. This young lady will talk 3 times in front of 100,000 people. This young lady is on a billboard the size of this wall. This young lady, I'm not going to say the company of this young lady, but this young lady CEO who works for the largest company in the world uses their story in their TED Talks. This young lady decided that her purpose and motivation was not caught up in a degree, because she doesn't have one. It wasn't caught up in the fact that she dropped out of school. It wasn't caught up in the fact that that abandoned home wound up being a beautiful home, and that home led 4 of her children to a college degree, even though this young lady never had one. This young lady's husband, who didn't have a GED, graduated top of his class as a digital communications major and running half of the company. So this young lady will say biases don't make up who you are, biases don't make up your life, and biases don't turn away your dreams. So next time you see a young lady who may be sitting in a welfare line, who may have to go through a welfare to work program, and then sit on the board of directors, and then work on strategic plans, and help out millions of others, remember, your judgment and your biases sometimes may just be your own.